welcome to the EduHR Training Bites, empowerment through critical skills development. So I ended off our last video on wanting to discuss the employee management process and how employee management process fits into the ECD center, or the ECD sector. So often when we only focusing on the social aspects, we only focus on the Bill of Rights of the child because that's the priority on the social aspect. But when we start to realize that we are a business, because we now comprehend that we receive an income to give a service, we realize we're a business. So therefore, when we are a business, we don't just focus on the Bill of Rights of the child, but we also focus on the various acts that are required when we are a business. And that would be the Basic Conditions of Employment Act, Labor Relations Act, various other acts such as employment equity, tax, occupational health. It is lots. It is overwhelming. And that's why often people don't want to take note of those things, because it just feels like this when what we want is this in our sector. And that's where the problem is. So remember, we need to use our minds as well as our hearts. So we're not forgetting the social aspect, because those laws are very pertinent in our sector and what they require us to do. But at the same time, like a clock that moves, so does our compliance matters. So let's look at the fact that you have now interviewed, you've recruited, and you have now decided on an employee. You like this person, they tickle your fancy, and you think they're going to be a good fit for your school. Okay, so what do? You're going to give a person a job offer. The job offer is going to discuss what salary you're offering them, what hours they're going to work, what role they play, what deductions there will be, and what benefits there are. Now, most people say to me, whoa, break. We don't give benefits in our sector. Yes, we do. We just don't often realize that there are benefits. So if I had to say to a corporate company benefits, we would look at medical aid, pension fund, retirements, and various other aspects. But in our sector, we don't do that because we don't have the money for that. But what we do is we often employ teachers, staff who have children, and those children come to our schools, and we give reduction in school fees. Hello, it's called a benefit. Okay, so that's a benefit. But in the same time, what I need you to realize is you need to document the benefits, and you need to document everything, because paper covers us from a legal mess. Okay. So now your employee has received the job offer, and they're really ecstatic, and they want the job, and they sign it, and what now? Okay, so you're going to give them an employment contract. Your employment contract needs to align to the Basic Conditions of Employment Act. It cannot just say, I, Cherie Muller, employ so-and-so as a teacher because I like her, and this is this and this and this, and sign it. It can't be that. An employment contract needs to be compliant in every aspect. So it needs to talk about what the person's duties are, what their role are, who the contract is between, what is their salary, what is their working hours, what happens for annual leave, what happens for sick leave, when do they take their lunch. Can you see? There's a lot of information. So you need to make sure those things are in place in your contracts. Then you're going to ask your employee, once she's signed that, or he signed that, or whoever signed it, you're going to ask them to complete an employee information form. This information form gives you basic information: name, surname, ID number, address, postal address if it's different, banking details, because you're going to need to pay a salary. Where are you going to pay it to? We don't have postdiver anymore. Okay, so you're going to need to have a place to put the salary. You're going to need to know if they are registered with UIF, and if you are a more higher income school, you're probably going to need to have their tax number as well. So those are things that you need in place. Okay, then you're going to ask them medical information. Now, a lot of people get really upset with me when I say I need to have medical information. Medical information is not for me to become all judgy and be like, no. Medical information is there for me to be able to protect my employee in an occupationally health and safe environment. So, one of those acts that I spoke about? Well, that's it, okay? So, you need to know if your employee is on medicine, because if anything happens and if you need to call a paramedic, then you have information of what is wrong with your employee and what medicine they are taking. Very, very important information to have. Once you have gotten that information, you are then going to obviously give them their the code of conduct, their disciplinary procedure, and all the HR policies that are required. Now, I have a video that I will share hereafter concerning that. But those things need to be in your employee file. And once you have got that, you can say you have a compliance file, which you can then grow as the employee works with you. And we will continue this in another bite.